So today's assignment is called Blame the Pope. Specifically, we're blaming Pope Gregory the 13th, for whom the modern Gregorian calendar is named after, which is the modern civil calendar that's used by pretty much all the nations throughout. Now, I like this one because I'm throwing stuff at you that you have not been exposed to yet, and also because it's actually a non-trivial assignment no matter how much programming experience you have. It's not hard, but it's not easy. And what it is that it's a very simple program, very simple objective. So it's a very simple objective that everybody understands. So I want you to write a program that, given a string as the input, tests if the string is a valid date in the Gregorian calendar. Okay? That's this calendar that everybody uses, right? Your program should output whether the date is valid. If it's not valid, please tell me why. So dates in the United States are formatted in month / day / year, right? Everybody's familiar with that format, okay? Valid months range from 1 to 12, right? So you've got 01, 02, 03, 04, all the way to 12. Right? There's no 13th month. There's no 0th or negative month, right? And then if you remember from your rhymes, April, June, September, November, right? They all have 30 days. Every other month but February has 31 days. And then February is where it gets interesting, because February has 28 days except during leap years, right? Everybody knows how leap years work, right? No, you don't. You don't know how leap year works. Okay? Leap years you have been lied to your entire life about the way leap years actually work. Leap years are not as easy as you think. A leap year is a year divisible by 4 is a normal year. A year not divisible by 4 is a normal year. So this, for instance, 2019, not a leap year. 2020 will be a leap year. So any year divisible by 4 is a leap year, except if it's divisible by 100. So 1900 is not a leap year. 1700 is not a leap year. But wait, you think, 2000 was a leap year? Yes, it was, because a year divisible by 400 is a leap year. So 1700 is not a leap year, but 1600 is. And 2000 is a leap year. So interesting that. So here's some examples. 1644, not a leap year. 1644 is a leap year. 1645 is not. 1600 is a leap year. 1700 is not. So that's actually the hardest part about the program, which is the leap year part. Now, when you see something like that, but there's a lot of other parts too, guess what you should do? Save it for last, right? Because it's only going to affect one day of the entire year, right? Whether a date's valid or not, right? The 29th of February, whether or not that's valid, depends on whether or not it's leap year, all right? So how do we do this? So first part about this is that you're going to have to learn how to slice a string, which I'll help you get started with. So slicing a string uses a special notation, right? So strings have certain letters, right? Strings are made up of individual characters, right? So for instance, S equals, I think my example was my name, so I'll go ahead and use that. My name, right? And they're stored in what we call indices, right? Let me go ahead and just put a comment over here. Index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And that is just simply the location of each letter in that string, right? Index 0 is the capital M. Index 1 is the lowercase y. Index 2 is the space. Okay? Bit of a weird concept, especially since we're starting with 0. Why are we starting with 0? It has to do with a choice made in other programming languages like C to make it easier for the computer to look up memory locations. So just simply note that you start counting from 0 in computer science. So the 0th character, or the first character, is M at index 0. The second character is index 1, right? It seems weird. Okay, so I can get individual letters out of this by using bracket notation. So I can say string 0 gives me M. that substring of 1, that'll give me y. What does this one give me? M, lowercase m. Okay, S2, what does that get me? S2? This gives me space, right? Got a handy guide underneath for you too. So, now, of note, by the way, if I go out of bounds, it's going to yell at me, saying the index is out of range, right? So you're limited to the range. Although, interestingly, and please ignore this if you want to, this is not out of range for the string. Interestingly, this is unique to Python, and one of the reasons I love it. Sorry, I keep forgetting that it goes backwards if you use negatives, which is pretty nice. So you can completely ignore that since it's unique to Python. But anyway, so now the other thing we want to talk about is slicing, right? Which is that you can get a certain section of a string, like so. So 0 up to, but not including index 2. So let's go ahead and print out S just once again, my name. S0 through index 2, up to, but not including index 2. This is the notation for a slice. And that gets you my. Okay? S 4 to up to, but not including index 6, gets you AM, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, 5, but not including 6. So it's inclusive, exclusive, right? You include the first one, but you stop at the second. Okay? So let's go ahead and let me go ahead and help you get started with this program then. We also have, let's see, but I've got more examples here. Right, so obviously we kind of see this, right? We let the user input their date, right? And then we slice it up to get the day, the month, and the year. Make sense? So let's go ahead and get started on that part. All right, so whoever's going to be typing it up, let's create a new file. I'm going to call it, I'm going to go into Classroom. And I'll get started on helping you out with grabbing the month out. I'm going to just call it pope.py. All right. So date is equal to input. Please enter a date /n, right? And there's our date. We've entered it as a string. And so in order to get the month out, that's going to be, or to get out, right, the month, that's going to be date slice from 0 up to including 2. Now, why is that? Because the date is in month / day / year format. That's what we're assuming. We can assume that the user is going to enter a valid date.
Can you adjust your window a little bit?
Oh, gosh. Blame the projector. All right. So let's go ahead and let me go ahead and list the indices out for you. There's the indices. So that's our month. So go ahead and take some time to figure out what how to extract the day and the year. Okay? So that's what you're going to work on right now. Then we'll come back here. Okay? We're all going to work on this program together. So go ahead and work on with your partner to go and get that next part. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording here.